Alright, what do we got here? Helena and Hundro already picked. Caterse reappears from the previous game. And there is somebody whose name I cannot pronounce. There are 4 leaders, mostly weak ones. A wind traps, which is interesting. A disposal facility, which is interesting. Flagship, which is a little bit interesting. Good techs overall. The row is notable. There is a shifting, which is bad for Ariana. A G manipulation, which is good for Ariana. Shifting, which is good for Memnon. Reverend Mother, which is good in general. Who would be good to get a Swordmaster early with here? Probably Romber. If we can get the right cards. Ariana could be good too. I like the idea of Ariana plus the G manipulation. You know what? Let's do Romber. I was reading about the Ixians today, and their suboids, which are like weird feudal robot slaves. Kind of gross. But Ix is kind of interesting in general. Their weird technology, fascination, and everything. So, yeah, I'll play Romber. The techs are good. You know, the shifting is good. The G manipulation is good if it can generate spice for us. The Reverend Mother is good if it can generate spice for us. There's a few different things going for it. So let's see what Ariana does. I love that he picked Ariana too. That's cool. So we want to hit smuggling, but we can't hit wealth. Smuggling plus a combat is enough. Let's see what Ariana does here. 5 persuasion is not enough for Reverend Mother, but it's enough to get most good things. The Signet Ring is interesting. We could hypothetically get a round 1 disposal facility at Hyva Basin. No, we couldn't. Carthag, okay. She's drawn the intrigue, so she can't go back on that now. I think we just Signet Ring. There's no reason to play the ring, really. We can just... Well, it is if we go tech negotiation, there is. So let's do this. If we save the ring, we could maybe get the wind traps. I don't know if that matters that much. Let's do this. Open that way. And we just need to place in the combat, which should be pretty easy to do. Couldn't go full space because we didn't have faction, although I still probably would have smuggled, to be honest with you. So Helena goes for Hardy. So our hope at this point is that Hundro does not participate, I think. Let's see what Ariana does. Snooper. Okay, she's trying to get to Reverend Mama, I think. Still suits. Okay. Is she gonna be fighting here? No. So if we go, we have a dagger in hand. If we go to Arakeen, do probably end up kind of blanking one of our faction, but that's the best way to get into the combat. Now, alternatively, we could go to Haga Basin, buy the wind traps, get our water right back. It's a weird, but we have wind traps for future rounds. I think I'd rather just get my Swordmaster timing. So let's do this. Get the Negotiator. We'll use it eventually. Draw the Seek Allies. Okay, that's not really what I wanted to see. And then... 3 is probably overkill. We just need to place. And Ariana already used her intrigue. So let's just do 2. Because even if she has 2 daggers, we still finish ahead of her. Right? So 2 it guarantees us at least 2 Solari. Unless Hundro has like a double cross or something, which... He wouldn't use on me anyway. And we have green in the next hand, so we're going to be able to go smuggling, dagger, diplomacy. Probably. Carthag from Helena. Okay. So there's the second intrigue card. No, that's the third intrigue card, actually. She rings away the shifting. So if it's available, I take the gene manipulation. Ariana ends up at 5. She does have the double daggers. But no intrigues means she's not getting anything. Takes the one we wanted. Okay. Well, I would have liked Spice Trader, but that's not available. Freighter Fleet is probably pretty good here. The only problem is it's negative persuasion. Well, not negative, but it's 0 persuasion. Let's do the Bene Gesserit sister, I think. Ooh, it's a nasty thing to reveal. Letting somebody have kinds this early can be dangerous. But it doesn't look like anybody actually has enough persuasion for her. So what does this tell me? That everybody has their convincings in their next hand? Undro has 2 convincings in his next hand. Ariana has no convincings in her next hand, but she's going to shuffle. And Helena also has 2 convincings in her next hand. So 2 of these guys are going to have 2 convincings. So say, don't stake my heart on getting kinds. Let's go ahead and do this. Especially because we just bought faction, so we're going to be able to consistently get value out of that third action. Undero gets interstellar access, so he's in a good spot. Raid stockpiles would be nice to participate in. I would consider Hardy here just because the spice is going to allow us to get our Romber game going. Could also be worth mentatting. I don't think that we need to do that. We have a good third action, so there's not really a reason to mentat. Except to pick up a little bit of persuasion, maybe? But, like, unless we drew a convincing, like, we'd probably end this run at 2 persuasion. The difference between 2 and 3 here is not significant. 4 lets us get to Spice Trader, like, okay, sure, but, you know, it's not worth the Solari. The Solari has other benefits which are more important, in my opinion. Especially because we could use it to buy a Dreadnought. Go ahead and pick up Swordmaster. We could also, you know, we could consider going, instead of playing the Diplomacy, going to Tech Negotiation. Okay, just kidding. Not going to do that. That's awkward for Hundro because this was a perfect time for him to go Interstellar. But he's going to have game-long benefit out of that because he's got his ring, and I'm probably not going to be at 2 on Guild anytime soon. So it's definitely a concerning situation with Romber, I think. Helena getting the kinds is something we need to be aware of. She did not buy a Framing card last round, but it's just a free faction bump for liquidity for her shifting allegiances. So it's definitely a problem. Now, 3 troops here, based on, depending on what Ariana does, 3 troops here off of Hardy would probably win us the combat. Unless she goes to, like, a city or something. Let's say that she doesn't, let's say that she does go to a city, and then we can't. No, she doesn't. Okay, I was going to say, our backup probably is wealth. That gets us to 3, and we can go to Dreadnought in the future. Although I expect that we're going to get a 3rd Solari whenever somebody cashes out here coming up. So, go ahead and Hardy. So right now we're at 7. Ariana bought what? She trashed a dagger, so she can't have... What did she buy? Last round, she bought... Oh, Hunter has Freighter Fleet. This is getting concerning. Imperial Spy. So it's possible for her to have 2 daggers, but it's not possible for her to have 3. So we're good. At 7, we're safe. Yeah, maybe Helena has something, but wouldn't be counting on it. It's that spice trader I wanted. Ooh, Jessica. Okay. We start buying liaisons. Unless Ariana's got the Jessica, which she just went to selective, so she may. Should be an excellent start for that leader. She's got the 2 water for research station next round, so again, we probably don't count on being able to get the Jessica. Yes, the sister's 2 persuasion, and it might help, but like I said, let's not count on anything. You know, the Reverend Mother's still there, but I think... Oh, she does have the 7. Very nice. And she did have the double daggers, too, by the looks of it. No, she only had 1. So if she had 2, she would have tied me? No, I just haven't revealed mine yet. CGA is pretty good here. It's not bad. It's not a great card, but it's not bad. But the real answer is we buy Liaison. We need to run the stock down for Helena, and we also need to build our own persuasion. This card is bad. Maybe we would buy it if we knew we were getting a trash card from this combat, but we don't know that. So, yeah. An ambush would not allow her to win the combat. It would just tie. So there's no reason for Helena to do that. Quid pro. Well, we did get a bad intrigue card. Although it's not horrible if we can trigger it on multiple factions. But what it does make me wish I had picked the court intrigue, actually. Okay, so now we can actually go to Dreadnought. Ring the Dreadnought, buy disposal facility. That'd be pretty cool. Somebody's contesting Vitesse, but it's the person that... Well, yeah, it's not a great contest. I'd much rather Ariana have it. But we don't always get what we want. Ariana is kind of based. She's going to do the Jessica repeated selective breeding thing. I respect it. So let's go ahead and... The thing is, the Dreadnought's not that high a priority. Is there something else that we could do instead? Still suits, but this thing can go anywhere. So let's just do this first. Let's pick up the Negotiator. Buy the Disposal. Trash a Dagger. That way we trigger Disposal more often, and then Mimic Quarters shows up. Damn it. That's okay. We'll live. Would really like it if Ariana hadn't gone selective, but it's too late now. Top card is 2 persuasion. So if we take reconnaissance to Arakeen, we get to 5 persuasion. So not enough to trigger the disposal facility. Or to pick up Reverend Mother, which is kind of the objective of this. Bummer. We definitely put our Dreadnought in, though. Like, we're going to get water out of it for no cost. So probably we go to Still Suits. Okay, no Reverend Mother. Well, here's a big one. That is a big one. Ariana might get that, actually. She just went to selective. Jessica, no less. She drew 4 cards, and she's already trashed 2 daggers. I think Ariana does get it, actually. She's already gotten rid of her Seek Allies, too. Maybe this is the game that Ariana finally pops off. A little bit lucky, but it's okay. It's good for Ariana to get lucky sometimes. She played G Manipulation, so I don't think that she's getting the directorship, but getting 2 Spice is actually incredible. She's really having a good game, honestly. You can't undo it. You went to Carthag. You already have your Intrigue card. Sorry. So, we go to Still Suits. Now we have access to Siege Tabor if we want. Throw in 6. Hundro bounces ahead of us. We could tie him up at Siege Tabor, but I don't see the value of that, really. I mean, we take a point away from him and he's in the lead. Honestly, we kind of have the weakest game going of anybody. I don't know. Smuggling is also decent. Let's see what Ariana does and respond that way. We could go Reconnaissance to Arakeen, draw the sister. That's going to take us to either 5 Persuasion or more likely the extra daggers, which does win us the combat. Yeah, we lose a water, but it's a point. That's a 7. That's interesting. I don't know if that's the better play or not. It probably is, but if she loses that directorship because she played the G Manipulation, she's probably going to regret it. I think Arakeen is actually better here. A point for a water is a good trade. And he could still beat me, but we'll have to see his reveal, and then we can respond. I could quid pro and take a bump with Fremen. So unless he's got a combat card, and he's held on to that card since the beginning of the game and hasn't used it, so I don't think it is a combat card. I think it's like a like an in-game point or something like that. I don't think we use this. I mean, it's not bad at Fremen, but if we can get a hand that has both Diplomacy and also Sister in it, that's really probably better. Let's take Ixguild, actually. That's good. It's access for the Quid Pro. Gives us more Dreadnoughts, gives us tech negotiation. It's everything that Romber wants. Even if it's not a persuasion card. Did Helena pick up like a liaison or something? Yeah, she did. No response from Hundro. Very nice. He's Verning. Verning it up. Ambush. It's a bit odd. So she did have the ambush last time and didn't want to tie it up. But they're just tying for third. So all you're really doing is taking a water away from Hundro. Why would you do that? What's the value there? That doesn't make any sense. Weird play. Well, I'm not nearly as worried about Helena now. Making dumb plays like that. Let's take a city because Helena can infiltrate it. And potentially visit it twice. So I'm going to put it on Carthag, I think. Which is generally the higher value city. We're 7 persuasion right now. We don't have any ability to hit Mentat, though. I mean, directorship would really make up for the lack of faction that we have at the moment. Hopefully she goes to Interstellar and blocks Hundro, but I don't think she will. Oh, she does. Very good. Ariana did shuffle, so she's got the good stuff back again. Let's not forget that we have the disposal facility and that we do really want to be at 6 persuasion at the end of the round if we can. Mimic Quarters is honestly kind of awesome here. Like, we're not going to get the Mimic Quarters to go off unless we, like, pull something crazy with the directorship. But tech negotiation on its own is a good space for us at this point. This takes us actually to 8. Maybe this is worth early revealing for, actually. Mimic Quarters. Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to think that it is worth it. Let's take the guild here. Like, right now we're at 8. And that helps us immensely with the Mimic Quarters. Yes, we're revealing 2 agents early, but... Well... I don't know. Let's respond to what their players do. If we can see that Helena doesn't have her ring, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, Arrakeen at Reconnaissance is better than the reveal just because we get some value. But the problem there is that, like, if we draw the Ixguild Compact, we kind of screw ourselves. Or if, you know, Ariana reveals and has the persuasion. Which she very well could. We have to see what her next action is. Right now I'm really leaning towards the reveal, to be honest. Okay. So Helena's not going to take the Chome from me. Ariana might, though. Mentat, probably not. She just spent 2 persuasion. We should have a turn to react. Alternatively, we could go Recon Siege Tabor, Eric, and then to Research Station, assuming Helena does not. Let's take that 1 in 6 risk. Cool. I don't think we want to participate in this, but it's hard to say because there's 2 people at 0, so there's a good chance that we get, and 1 person at 1. There's a good chance we get something even if we don't. I don't know. Let's just pass here. I don't want to throw troops away. The Mentat play there was kind of odd. Yeah, you get to trash your assassination mission, but why Mentat? Why not, like, Airkeen? You're putting yourself further away from Swordmaster. Admittedly, she would still only be at 7 at Airkeen. And she wouldn't have another action. So maybe she has another card she wants to play. The good news is we do have the disposal facility going, so we're going to be able to trash another card, regardless of whether or not we get the directorship. Now, at this point, we have 1 persuasion to spend. The problem is we don't have a card that's 1 persuasion that we can spend. So we have to reveal next action to get this card. I'll get basic. Playing your freighter fleet. Not what I expected, Hundro. Why do you want 2 spice so bad? Oh, detonation devices is out. That's exciting. That's exciting. Land is smuggling. Ariana High Council, maybe? I don't think she early reveals here. Maybe she does. She has Jessica, but probably, so who knows? Spire, okay. So we do get it. We just reveal early. It's a point. And then half of 2 others, half of 3 others, you could say. Let's go ahead and trash the dagger. We already have our Swordmaster, and we need to get more persuasion. The Doctor is valid, but... well, we don't really have that many Agent Box cards, honestly. Let's do it. I don't know that I've ever bought the Doctor on video before, so let's try it out. Oh, Hundro is going to go for Deado devices. Okay, that's not what I would have done, but, you know, maybe he wants to keep it away from me. So this is really great because it means that we're so much closer to Mimic-Quarters. We have Fremen already. We're 2 away from BG, and we have a BG access card in our deck. And we're 1 away on Guild and 2 away on Emperor, and we have a Quid Pro Quo, which is a bad card that all of a sudden is more valuable. And the fact that we own the Imperial Basin helps a lot. That makes this a lot more affordable. We can engineer a turn where we go like, you know, BG Emperor. Quid Pro would be perfect. Another reason why I took the Doctor is that we're probably going to have our Dreadnought on a city somewhat frequently, and so the value of going to city will go up a little bit for us. Every time we win with the Dreadnought, it's going to go on a city because we're not going to take it on an Imperial Basin. Oh, okay, we don't get Interstellar next round, which is what I thought was going to happen because Ariana had to demand respect. She's got a lot of card draw on her deck. If we took Signet Ring to Imperial Basin, we would have enough to buy the Chimarchy. Could also just buy a new Dread with the X Guild, but it's not that great a transaction. The fold space itself is valuable, though. Just because it accesses faction. Could trash out the directorship using diplomacy, although I don't think that the 3 Solari is that bad. Certainly, I think I'd rather have the directorship than reconnaissance. Did you just buy the Chimarchy or something? So now there's invasion ships to think about. Good Romber tech, we just don't have enough spice for it. We could fix that with a quick trip to Still Suits, which would also give us an alliance. So I think I like that idea. We don't have any other Fremen Axis in our deck, so it's not a bad idea. Plus it lets us deploy our Dreadnought casually. It doesn't work us towards Mimic Orders, but 2 water, combat, a point, it's just too efficient. If we weren't to do that because we wanted to focus on Mimic Orders, I think we would be over-relying on Mimic Orders. Okay. So right now, Signet Ring to Great Flat is 6 spice. That's enough to buy the invasion ships, which is good if our goal is to keep Hundro from winning the combat. Alternatively, we could go smuggling and then Interstellar next round. Let's buy the faction. Keep our ring for the next action. Get that bump with guild. We're going to need it eventually. These are the 2 factions we don't want to quid pro on. I mean, sure, if we could steal Helena's guild, that would be good. But Helena has a shifting allegiances, so it's not really logical to try to force that to happen, you know? It would help keep Fremen safe, but this is obviously better spent when we can go to the other 2 factions. Which the fold space will help out with that. The Imperial Basin is really paying us back here. We've gotten 2 spice out of it in 2 rounds. So we have one more action. Another Dread takes us to 10. It technically puts us above Hundro, but Hundro will probably bounce ahead of us eventually. But if we buy the invasion ships, we do end up ahead of him. And it's a point. So let's do it. New tech shuttle fleet. So Hundro can't go to a city. He can't go to Hardy Warriors. And he can't go to Highliner. So the fact that he has another action may not matter. Like, but he has 4 cards in hand. And his cards that he bought... Ariana has the Gunthopter. Hundro has a Liaison. Spice Trader's a Dagger. He doesn't have anything that great. Let's do this just to block off intrigue card shenanigans. We could full send to prevent the Gunthopter from hurting our garrison, but you know, I'm not so worried about that. This is 14. Let's commit on combats. 16. It's a point. Let's not play around. But we do know that Hundros has one card that's not combat, so we probably didn't need to put that many in. We also get a water back, so there's a couple reasons why we ought to put a lot into this. Ariana could beat us, though. We'll know whether she intends to based on whether she puts this troop in or not. Three intrigue cards. Always dangerous. No reveal. We've got a Chome directorship too, so we kind of want to play aggro. Like, we need to get our last 2 points from the tracks and just kind of close the game out. If the game's going to round 8, we're probably not super happy with that. Ariana didn't put a troop in, so I don't think she has a way to beat us. Or if she does, she just uses all our cards and the troop won't matter. I do really love Romber. He's a really fun leader. Okay, we still have Imperial Basin, so we got paid at Carthage last round. Let's go to Arakeen this time. See if it gets double visited. At this point, people might be starting to try to get to their... Okay, so is interstellar shipping even worth anything? Well, we can hit it again next round. It helps us with Shuttle Fleet. Although we could pick up Shuttle Fleet, like, now, right? Like, we need 6 spice. If we get to here, we know we're 1 spice short. BG's and Sister plus Fold Space gives us the quid pro. So do we just open Fold Space to Wealth? A lot of options here. If somebody goes to Imperial Basin, and I don't know why they would, but if somebody goes to Imperial Basin, I'll have enough for the Shuttle Fleet. Let's open up the possibility of the Shuttle Fleet and start with Signet Ring. Negotiator. If we go up, down, we go to 4. Still not enough. Because we have invasion ships, we can hit it next round, so I'm not too worried about the possibility of not being able to close that out. Hundra goes to Wealth, which is really the space that we kind of wanted, but we can discard the Doctor to still get there, but it is going to cost us Persuasion, which I'm not happy about. And we can't go to Selective Breeding with the Sister, because if we do, we don't have enough for the Quid Pro. We could also use Quid Pro to steal Helena's Alliance at Fold Space. It's worth thinking about. It doesn't help us with Mimic Orders, but I just don't think we want to fight Helena on that, because yeah, okay, we go one ahead of her, but like, you know, she's gonna have shifting, right? And we kind of screw ourselves. That's the thing that makes shifting stronger than it looks, is that when you have shifting, you people can't really fuck with you on alliances because they know what you're capable of. As far as I know, she's got it in hand. Now, if she were to play it on her first action, then I would maybe consider doing something else. Like, or consider doing it. But I don't think otherwise. It makes a whole lot of sense. think we'd probably get secrets while we can. Strategic push. It's not that good. I mean, if it helps us win a combat down the road, it'll be worth it, but it's not that good. The thing is, we already have 2 points from combat, so we can kind of just play it slow. Just an SMF plus the Emperor point is enough to win the game for the most part. We have the Mimic Quarters for if the game goes long. We don't really want to use it, but we do have it. We could also get our Emperor point from smuggling here, but I don't think that makes a lot of sense. Not with the Quid Pro. But the Quid Pro directly works against the shuttle fleet. That's the awkward thing about it. But the shuttle fleet's just a very expensive way to get 2 bumps. This is a cheaper way to get 2 bumps. Sure, maybe down the road it gives me some Solari, but not a lot. Oh, she goes to 4. It's too bad we just went to secrets. Can't do anything about it. But she plays it safe anyway. Discard the Doctor. Fold space to wealth. Diplomacy. Kind of awkward. It's not the card we wanted to draw, but it's okay. Now we're at 8. Quid Pro doesn't actually take us up in points, but it does lock in the Mimic Orders, and it makes us very likely to get the some of these other alliances. The only problem is that because we do the diplomacy, it's going to be hard to follow up. We have no faction in our next hand. We probably want to use our 2 water next round to hit Research Station if it's available, which it may not be with Helena and Ariana in the game. But it actually doesn't matter. We have invasion ships, so we can go either way. And we can discard the X Guild to get more negotiators, which would help us for the invasion, or for the shuttle fleet if we can use it to steal the alliances. Or not steal them, but take them. Didn't play shifting. I think you would want to play shifting there if you had it. But she does have it. It's guaranteed in her hand, so why didn't she play shifting? She's taking shifting somewhere else instead? Like smuggling or something? That's the only thing I can think of. So Ariana gets the shuttle fleet. Pushes Emperor and pushes BG. That's bad for me. That's definitely bad for me. Because, I mean, I'm probably not getting both of those. We're out of text in that row. It says 6 remaining, but I think that means there's 6 in these 2 stacks. So is what happened that every tech came from this stack and none of them came from the other 2? Reveal. We don't really want any of this. Yeah, I don't think we want any of this. Desert Ambush might have a place. I suppose Court Intrigue is Emperor access. It allows us to maybe get to that Emperor alliance. And it lets us throw away the strategic push. Okay, sure. I've convinced myself. We'll have 2 Dreadnoughts again next round, so we'll be pretty powerful for the combat. Ariana will act before me, and she'll probably take one of the 2 alliances that I want. But she can't take them both. Right now we're sitting at 9 because of Mimic Orders. We have 3 in case we ever pick up like a machine culture or something. So there's the shifting. What are you going to do with it? Wind traps. Okay. Training drones. Okay. BG. Okay, interesting. So she goes down and up with the same faction. So if she draws that again next round, she could take BG. There's an SMF for Ariana, who's having a very good game, just not as good as me, I think. Who knows what her intrigue cards are, right? Like, she could have some killer intrigues in there. She's been sitting on them for a while. Helena goes to 7, so she's not far behind me. The good news about her buying the SMF is that her discard pile is kind of more muddled, and the odds of her drawing kinds or shifting go down a little bit. Hundro gets to detonate. He's far enough behind at this point that I'm not super worried. Okay, that was incredibly useful, actually. We have terrible access in this hand. We have to hit Research Station. But we're in no rush. If we can get Interstellar, that's probably better. Interstellar is a faction, so that'll give us Emperor or BG, depending on which one Ariana doesn't take, assuming that Ariana takes one at all. And then if that's... I mean, I don't know if it'll be available, because Hundra might take it, but... or Helena. There's a couple reasons why it's probably not going to be available. We need to use the shift... Or not the shifting, but the... we need to use the Research Station for the... What's it called? For the invasion ships, not Interstellar. Even though Interstellar is great, that's how we have to use it, really. Although getting training drones is pretty good. I guess we could dump the X Guild and get to 5 instead of 3, but that doesn't get us anything else useful, so... Deck includes Liaison Dune, so it's nothing crazy, but it is more persuasion. And we can end the game this round if we can get an SMF. Problem is, we're 1 Solari short of that goal. So maybe Interstellar Shipping is the way to go. Interstellar Shipping... But I mean, we have a combat card, we have 2 Dreadnoughts, we have a troop already in the combat. Our path, really, I think, here is actually just try to fight. So Ariana has 3 different things she can do to block me. Let's see which one she prioritizes doing first. She could go Research Station, she could go Wealth, or she could go Secrets. I can actually get most of what I want from Smuggling, and Smuggling would give me access to High Council, maybe. Well, there's not really a cheap way to get High Council because I've trashed my daggers. None of the above. Okay, that's good. That means we hit Smuggling here and take an alliance. We already have enough Solari that we can get High Council, so we don't need to take Solari here. So let's go ahead and take BG for the Intrigue card, I think. Snooper. Yeah, hell yeah, I'll take that. Great. Troops. Spice. So now we have 3 tech value. If we discard the X Guild, we go from 3 to 5. It's not enough for a flagship, but a flagship would give us a way of ending the game out. If we drew Signet Ring from the Research Station, we might be able to buy the flagship at Imperial Basin. That would be a fun way to win, because then we could also buy troops. Okay. We don't like that Helena got that. We don't like that Helena got that at all. But she can't steal BG from me now, so it's not quite so concerning. Not with shifting, anyway. But if Helena wins the combat, she would win the game. I just don't see how she would do that. She didn't really buy any useful combat cards. That is concerning. Does she have a bribery or something? If she has it, I'm not seeing it. Let's do this. Okay, Emperor's actually pretty good. Put in 2 dreads. Doesn't cost me much. We're at 7 now. Okay, 100 blocks on secrets. Ariana's probably kicking herself that that happened. Interesting. We'll see what she's got, I guess. We can also take the Emperor Alliance at Court Intrigue, and that takes me to 10. That's probably good enough. And we can infiltrate Emperor. Mulligan the strategic push, although we might not want to. But given that we have 3 techs for machine culture, I think it's worth it. And plans within plans is, well, plans within plans. I guess it depends on how much we think Helena might be able to win the combat. Because if I go to 10, Helena goes to 10, I think I would still beat her on tiebreaker. I get spice from second or third. So I'm not so... I mean, we still want her to win the combat, but it's not an enormous disaster. Now, there is an argument that instead of going to Emperor, that what we ought to do instead is just take the Doctor to Siege Tabor. Maybe we draw in a sister and get some daggers. Maybe we don't, but we get to put 3 troops in, and that significantly increases our odds of winning the combat. And the combat at this point is the game. Yeah, I don't know. We'll get another trash if the game continues to go on, which is nice. We have enough spice banked up that if Helena does not win this round, we'll probably buy flagship next round and end the game. So I do think we just fight as hard as we can for the combat. Because if we win the combat, we win. If Helena wins the combat, she might win, depending on her intrigue card. But if the game goes on, we definitely win, I think. Although if Ariana can find a way to steal our alliance here, we would not win if Helena won the combat. As nice as it is to say you have 3 alliances, I probably ought not go to Emperor. Going to Emperor is like the, if the game were to go another round play. The thing we would do if Ariana stole our alliance, but so far, she isn't doing that. Okay, well, Siege Tabor's gone, so there's not... That's a significant bummer. Now, we could go Doomed Imperial Basin, go to 5 spice, set up for the flagship next round, put 2 troops in. So, okay, so if I put 2 troops in at Imperial Basin, I go to 14. Can anyone beat that? Ariana might. I currently have the most strength in the combat. Isn't it better to try to close that out and just win that way? We also need to keep the dagger we have in hand by doing that. We have more spice for tiebreakers with people other than Ariana, of course. Yeah, I think this is the play. We have Mimic Orders, so no, we should have gone Emperor because we have Mimic Orders. So we're at 10, we're at 10 even without the combat, or we're at 11 without the combat. I mean, that would have been the better play. But if we win the combat, we definitely win. So it's whatever. And getting 3 spice is not half bad. Goes to 9. So she would actually have been at 11 had she won the combat, which I don't think she's going to do. 7 daggers is... 8 daggers, sorry, is a lot for her to pull out of her butt. Go ahead and reveal. Go to 15, buy nothing for accuracy. Trash a... I don't know. Reconnaissance is worse than the Doctor, so we'll trash that. There is a chance the game goes another round, so let's buy the Legion. Ariana would have to pull all the stops out, but it could happen. Hundro. Okay, interesting. Hundro could win the combat with the right cards. Probably not happening, but he might. I wouldn't mind that outcome whatsoever. Although, again, my Bene Gesserit alliance would kind of be at risk. War chest. Okay, that's not enough, but maybe he has another one. Let's see what Ariana's got. Private army. Okay. Well, unfortunately, I'm not going to win the combat now. Probably shouldn't have played that. But I don't want Ariana to win the combat either. I'm very happy to go to 10 spice. So, picking up the Legion did make sense, because it turns out that the game is going longer. Yeah, so going to Emperor was the correct play there. Because of Mimic Orders, I didn't need to try to win the combat. But it's okay, because right now I'm at 10. If I win the combat, I'm at much more than that. And everybody else's garrisons are depleted now, and I have Highliner access. So, it's definitely the right thing to do. Also, I can buy a flagship. Flagship's probably better than Highliner. Come to think of it, it's an immediate point, and it's almost as much combat strength. Although Highliner lets me go to Research Station. We have 3 negotiators, which means that the flagship only costs 5. Signet Ring, buy the flagship to a combat space, use it immediately. Nobody else can afford Highliner anyway. Although I think Ariana's about to steal my alliance. She actually just doesn't. And she denies me the ability to get the Emperor, but she doesn't actually gain any points there. Yeah, okay, she steals it. But we have a 2-point combat probably on lock. We're at 6 persuasion. The Ix Guild doesn't cost any persuasion to play. We probably ought to just go ahead and Highliner and not get fancy with it. And besides, we could just play Diplomacy to steal Helena's alliance afterwards. It's going to be very, very hard for them to beat 18's combat strength. And more when I buy the flagship. Which I can do, taking Signet Ring to any space that has spice on it. Helena's my competition, so given the opportunity, I should just go to Fold Space. But we'll see what she does. There's also an argument that Research Station blocks others. So Helena goes to 10. So yeah, definitely go into Fold Space, I think. We also have 2 daggers in hand from the sister that we need to think about. Also, if somebody goes to Imperial Basin, we can take flagship with our ring. So do this. Atlanta's options for taking that back are limited. I don't think anyone's going to go to the Imperial Basin, but it probably should be our next move. It's better than going to Research Station. And it's a win-win, right? If somebody else goes there, we get the spice and we can use our ring. And if somebody doesn't go there, then we can go there ourselves and use our ring. Yeah, just a win, because now we can go to Research Station. And nobody else can afford the flagship. Who needs Spice Must Flows? Not me. High Council's for guys who don't know how to fight. That's what I say. Oh, Ariana's gonna get it because she had the. That's crazy. Okay. Well, I guess we go to Research Station with Signet Ring, buy Monimic Film, and hope things work out. Ariana's getting to 10, so we do need to win the combat now. Pick up a film. I don't think we're getting SMF here, but yeah, we're not. Nope. Bummer. Man, that flagship might give her the win. She has Chimerky, so if she has like endgame points or something, she could probably win. Go to 22 here. It's going to be hard to beat us, I think. Go to 12. 2 from the combat, 1 from film. If Ariana can find 2 points from an intrigue card, she'll win. Goes to 16. You'd have to have a damn good intrigue card to beat me. He would need 9 daggers. I don't think it can happen. Spy sets. Not this game. Round 8 game, usually everyone's going to have it. Ariana doesn't have the SMF. The SMF's holding her back. Daggers. Take a water. Let's not do it. The game's over. Actually, nobody's at 10. If we somehow tie in the combat, the game goes to round 9. But let's not take the Water Peddler just because I have everybody beat on Spice Tiebreaker or Solari Tiebreaker anyway. And I don't want to ruin the final deck screenshot. Ariana bought a lot of tech for Ariana. And this is a criminally high amount of tech for a leader that has a hard time getting spice, but she was able to overcome it with the G manipulation, which is pretty awesome. She's played a great game. I would say if I were spectating this, I'd probably say I hope she wins. But of course I'm playing it, so I don't. I don't hope that. She's gonna get an intrigue from third, so she's got a chance to draw into something. We go to 11. We control all 3 board spaces, which is kind of cute. Machine Culture's a point. Corner of the market. Oh, does she have it? She does not. Why not? She has 2 SMF. Because Helena has 3 SMF. She actually didn't get any points from it. Oh, did she trash her own SMF? She drew 1 of her 2 points in that third place. So I think she just drew the I think she just drew the corner of the market there. And she was trashing her SMFs because she didn't know, right? She only technically has 1 in the deck. She's only at 10. She was at 9 and she got Machine Culture because that's because yeah, okay. So but if Helena had 1 fewer, no, because she only has 1. And how many does Helena have in the deck? I don't know. It's hard to tell. It won't let me know, but if Helena hasn't trashed SMFs, well, in any case, it was a damn close one in a good game. Aggro Romber, 4 points from combats. 4 points from combats. I think that kind of says what it needs to say. But yeah, Dreadnoughts can be good. Also, shouldn't overlook Mimic Orders and 2 alliances and Directorship. Directorship was an enormous coup for us. It was worth revealing 2 actions early, right? Because yeah, it was worth revealing 2 actions early for. And I think I have to say, I think it was pretty smart to do the Quid Pro, to buy the SMF the full space for the Quid Pro. We actually, we Quid Pro'd on BG and Emperor, and we didn't end up getting either of those alliances. So it purely functioned for us to get the Mimic Orders point. So maybe the Quid Pro wasn't worth it. I don't know. But, if we were at 11 points, all that Ariana needs is 1 more point to beat us, which she would have gotten had she not trashed 1 of her SMFs. So it was a damn close one. Just goes to show why Romber's so fun. I don't know how much value I got of Disposal, but I think it was a decent amount. The game went 8 rounds, and yeah, I didn't trash that much, but getting these 2 daggers out, I mean, it just means I draw my important stuff more often. Like, if I had drawn, every dagger that I draw instead of a Bene Gesserit Sister is kind of a tragedy, right? Like, this card has way more persuasion. It has, daggers on it that I've used to win combats. It's got BG access that I've used for the Quid Pro, in addition to the green. So this is I feel like it's almost about as good as a card with no agent action can be. Kinds excluded, right? But yeah, Romber, super fun leader. Invasion ships to win a combat was cool. Mimic Orders was cool. Disposal was nice. Mimic Film didn't do anything, but we were very, very close to being able to buy that flagship before Ariana got the bright idea to block us. Very happy with this game. Good night, everybody.